Since I shared my last grocery budget video, I've been getting lots of requests to make another one like that, but make it holiday themed. So what we are going to be doing today is we're making a full Christmas or holiday meal to feed a family with only $20. We're heading over to the cheapest grocery store in my area. It's Walmart, and I'm going to be picking up all of my groceries. You guys are going to be coming along with me. I am so excited about this meal. It is going to be flavorsome and delicious. We're not lacking in anything. Let's get to the store now. Here are the items that I'm picking up today to stay under my budget. I'm first going down to the dairy area in the back of the grocery store, and I'm going to be picking up 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm going to be using this sour cream in a recipe, and it's going to turn out so good. So don't go knocking it until you see the recipe that it's in. Now for the main dish, I'm deciding to go with a ham for our holiday meal. I'm looking over every single ham that my grocery store is selling right now, and I'm kind of looking for the ham that is the cheapest per pound. I came across this Falls brand ham, and it was only $1.98 per pound, so significantly cheaper than the rest of the hams. There's about 4.5 pounds of ham in this ham, and it's under $10, so that is just a wonderful deal. I'm excited about that. And our holiday meal can't be missing out on dessert, so I'm going to be picking up a box of red velvet cake mix, and I'm going to be turning this regular box of cake mix into something extraordinary. I just really can't wait for you to see it. And while I'm down the kind of like baking aisle, I'm also going to be picking up this box of Jiffy corn muffin mix. For 50 cents, you really can't go wrong with it. I'm also going to be picking up a package of some vanilla pudding mix. I'm going with the store name brand just because it's significantly cheaper than the, name brand. And also for 32 cents, I just can't go wrong with a packet of brown gravy mix. And between you and me, I really do think it tastes super yummy, and it's just a good packet of brown gravy. Now I'm down the canned vegetable aisle, and I'm going to be picking up a normal sized can of corn. I'm going to be using this corn in a recipe, and it is just going to turn out amazing. You just have to trust me. Now I'm making my way over to the frozen vegetable aisle, and I really want to pick up a frozen bag of green beans, but I was so surprised to see this 12-ounce bag of green beans for about $2. That is just over my budget for today, but I am so glad that I looked further because I saw this other bag of green beans for under $1. The same amount of green beans in each bag. This one is just definitely worth the money savings there. Now I'm going to be getting a container of whipped topping, and if you're trying to stick to a lower grocery budget, you'll always almost find that the store name brand products are always cheaper than the big name brand products, and that's just because the big name brand products pay for pricey advertising. I'm headed to the produce area now, and I'm going to be picking up this huge bag of potatoes. Here's everything that I'm picking up for our holiday meal today. I first have my ham. I'm so excited about the ham. I have my pudding mix, whipped topping. I also have my package of Jiffy corn muffin mix, can of corn, my huge 5-pound bag of potatoes, my brown gravy mix, red velvet cake mix, green beans, and my sour cream. As you see, I am a couple dollars under budget, but that gives me a little room to use a few pantry staples from my own home, such as oil, seasonings, and eggs. I won't be using much though. Let's get home and let's get our holiday meal started. Since our ham will be taking the longest to bake in the oven, we are going to get started on our beautiful glazed ham. So grab a 9x13 baking dish or a large baking dish. Add your ham into the baking dish facing down just like this. Now using a knife, score the top of the ham diagonally just like this. This is going to give the ham added flavor in the end. Then you're going to pour about a half a cup of water over the top of the ham, and then you're going to cover this tightly with foil. This will bake in a preheated oven to 325 degrees for about an hour and a half. Just let it bake in the oven, and while it's baking in the oven, I am going to get started on our red velvet poke cake. This cake is so unbelievably delicious. It is amazing. So to a bowl, add in your box of red velvet cake mix, and then add in the ingredients the box calls for. So add in your eggs, oil, and water. Then you're going to beat this together super well until all the ingredients are well combined. Grab a 9x13 baking dish and spray it with non-stick spray just for easy cleanup in the end. Now add that cake mixture right into your baking dish and spread it out. I baked this right next to my ham in my oven for about 30 minutes or until the cake center has set, so it was super convenient just baking it next to the ham. Once it was out of the oven, I let it cool down completely. Now we're getting started on the poke cake part. So just add your pudding mix into a bowl. Next, add in a cup and a half of milk, and you're going to whisk these two ingredients together super well. Once you're through with that, you're going to grab the back of a spoon or really anything and poke holes all over the top of your cake. After that, go ahead and spread that pudding mixture out all over the top of the cake. Make sure it gets in all of those holes. Let the cake chill in your fridge for about 30 minutes, or you could stick it in your freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes just so it gets super cold with that pudding. Now you're going to add your whipped topping all over the top of the cake. Just spread it out and then leave this in your fridge until it is time to have your cake in the evening. This poke cake is so good. I've done this with chocolate cake mix. I chose red velvet just because it was like nice for the holidays, but it is such a delicious, easy poke cake to make. It is absolutely amazing. For one of the side dishes for our holiday meal, we are making this cornbread casserole, and it's my favorite cornbread casserole. So into a big bowl, add in a half a cup of melted butter, then add in a drained can of corn. Then you're going to add in 2 eggs along with 8 ounces of sour cream. The sour cream adds so much to this cornbread casserole. It adds moistness, and then it also adds a lot of great flavor. Then you're going to add in 1 box of Jiffy corn muffin mix, and you're going to stir this together super well until everything is well combined. You can use a smaller baking dish or an 8x8 baking dish, spray it with non-stick spray. Then you're going to add your cornbread casserole right in there, spread it out, and I baked this next to my ham for about 35 minutes or until the center was set. This cornbread casserole is so unbelievably delicious. You could drizzle honey over the top. It is just so good. Now we are getting started on these garlic and herb mashed potatoes. They're going to pair perfectly with our holiday meal. I have my 5-pound bag of potatoes right here. I'm just peeling them and cubing them. If you do want to save another $1 or so at the grocery store, you could use instant mashed potatoes over like the real potatoes. I just wanted to use the real potatoes for our holiday meal though, just because we do prefer them over the instant ones. But add your peeled and cubed potatoes into a large pot of boiling water, and then you're going to let these potatoes boil for about 15 minutes or until they're fork tender. This recipe is also on page 42 in my cookbook. You'll find it in the sides and appetizers section. Also, as of right now, my cookbook is currently on a super sale, so it's super discounted with free shipping. I'm also signing every single cookbook order at the moment. I do want to say thank you to you all. We are almost at 900,000 subscribers, and I just really can't believe it. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here today and liking me for me. Each week when I share my Sunday morning video and I see the kind comments and views come in, I always get teary-eyed. I'm really incredibly grateful for you. And I do want to let you know I started my YouTube channel 5 years ago, and when I started it, we were on food stamps and WIC. We were really struggling to make ends meet, so thank you for being here for me throughout the years. And I know the holidays are not easy on everyone for many different reasons. So as a thank you to you, I've bought 30 different random gift cards, and in 30 different random cookbook orders from today, I'm going to be adding a gift card in. I have different amounts of money on each of the gift cards, and please don't be upset with me if you aren't one of the random 30, but just know that I love you all so much, and maybe one day I'll be able to help each and every single one of you out. I'm so thankful for you. Just to let your potatoes simmer, and while they're simmering, I'm going to to get started on the glaze for the ham. So to a smaller pot on the stove, add in a half a cup of butter. Next, add in 1 cup of brown sugar and a tablespoon of yellow mustard. Let that butter melt down, and you're going to whisk this together until it is smooth and simmering. Once this does start to simmer and it's smooth, just like this, you want to add in about 1/4 cup of water. You're also going to be adding in a half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a half a tablespoon of whole cloves. This is going to make the ham just so delicious. This glaze is really wonderful. Whisk this together well and let this simmer on your stove, whisking it occasionally for about 3 to 4 minutes, just so the glaze can thicken up. Now, once the ham is out of the oven, just remove the foil and you're going to pour the glaze all over the top of the ham. Let this bake for an additional 30 minutes uncovered. Now that the ham is going back in the oven to bake and my potatoes are tender now, I'm going to strain the potatoes, and back into the same pot the potatoes were cooking in, I'm adding in a few tablespoons of butter. Once the butter melted down a little bit, I added in a tablespoon of minced garlic. Just give this a little stir until that garlic is super fragrant. Then add in between 1 to 3 teaspoons of salt, depending on how salty you like it, and then a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of dried thyme, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary, depending on how much you like rosemary. Give this a stir until all of those seasonings are super fragrant and just smell good. Then add in those potatoes along with a cup of milk, and then you are going to mash your potatoes up super well. You are just going to see how creamy and delicious these potatoes look. They are just so herby and amazing. These are the only mashed potatoes I really make these days. I make them either with golden potatoes or russet potatoes. Now we are making these seasoned green beans, so to a pan on the stove, add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once your oil's hot, add in your frozen bag of green beans. And as you see here, we are not skimping on any side dishes. Our holiday meal is going to have plenty of side dishes. It's going to be full of so many different nutrients and so many different proteins, and it's just going to be a complete holiday meal. But once my green beans were finished cooking for about 8 minutes on the stove, I added in some salt and pepper, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and a tablespoon of minced garlic. I let the seasonings and the garlic cook together for about a minute, and then my green beans were done. That is all you have to do. These green beans do not taste affordable. They taste high-end, they taste expensive, and oh so delicious. These are the best green beans to make. Now we are making our simple brown gravy, so to a pot on the stove, add in our packet of brown gravy mix. After you add that in there, you're going to add in water, and you're going to whisk this together until it's smooth. You're going to let this simmer on your stove just until it thickens up slightly. This gravy is going to go great on the mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes are super flavorsome by themselves. They really don't need anything on top just because they're so garlicky and herby, but this gravy is just going to go great on it. It's just a nice addition for our holiday meal. And here's what our ham is looking like out of the oven. It is just gorgeously glazed. I'm going to just slice up our ham now and then serve our dinner up. Don't forget to remove the cloves on your ham just because you don't want to accidentally eat a clove. But this ham had so much ham on it. I was pleasantly surprised. Also, this ham is so juicy. The glaze on top is 10 out of 10. This is such a delicious, affordable holiday ham that you could make. This entire holiday dinner for being under $20 is absolutely unbelievable. I asked my husband how much he thought it cost. His guess was between $50 to $60 for all of this, which is crazy because it was under $20, but I just served up our plates and then we had our holiday meal. My entire family loved it. This has our protein, plenty of sides, veggie. We also have dessert. You just can't ask for more with a holiday dinner. This hits all of the boxes. It was so delicious, but yet so affordable. It tastes so high quality. I would really love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed down below the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.